Buffalo 66. What a horrible movie. Whew, yikes. I got a lot to unpack here. Literally, it's an abusive dick's power fantasy. Well acted, good casting, disgusting lesson. If it was written by a woman to show a different perspective on how women react in such situations of being terrifyingly assaulted by someone who's pretending to be friendly, I would be more forgiving. But it's written by the main actor-director, who basically just wrote himself an excuse to manhandle, gaslight, and abuse Christina Ricci the entire movie. Until she falls in love with him? That's the big twist? That's not enough of a twist for me. That's just a rapist's power fantasy. See, some girls fall in love with you if you apologize enough between each abusive session. I could see that falling for him was where the movie was writing her. I just wanted to know why. What broke Christina Ricci's character so badly that she thinks this piece of shit is the nicest guy in the whole world? She's not just playing along, waiting for a chance to escape. She's written to fall for him. A good movie would have gone into that, to explain why the hell she is tolerating being kidnapped violently and abused verbally and emotionally, and not using every opportunity to drive the fuck away anytime he has gone into a store or something. I get that she is falling for him, but why? It never goes into her history. It never goes into her background, explaining what this is all about. Like, what is justifying this? All it does is send a very disturbing message to young girls. Just take the abuse for now, you can change him. No, you can't change someone who doesn't see the error in their ways. You can't just let a guy or anyone treat you like that, unless it's a kink that you guys have mutually agreed upon. On the plus side, this was when Christina Ricci was at her absolute peak in being drop-dead gorgeous. I just wish I didn't have to watch an hour and a half of her being constantly abused and gaslit into falling in love with her abuser just to experience this awesome beauty. It was sad. It was depressing. It was awesome knowing that she wasn't typical Hollywood skinny, which is why it was so sad she got so sickly thin after that. Hollywood. I get that situations like this like this movie may happen in real life. A person doesn't always have control over their own decision making when put under abusive pressure. But to not even, or they make decisions that would go against their own nature just to survive. But to not even explain where that comes from on the part of her character, her background, it just renders this entire movie, a power fantasy for abusive incels. Understand my damage so you can ignore yours. Just understand me so I can beat you more. Understand that I'm damaged so I can damage you and so you can just forgive me, man. You know? It had the potential to be a psychologically interesting story, but there was nothing psychologically interesting about it. A story about abusers, by abusers, for abusers. To tell abusers out there in the world, hey, there's hope, when such abusers don't deserve even a grain of such hope. I'd seen these images of Christina Ricci from this movie going around at the time, 96, 97, when I was on the internet, but and I'd always wondered what it was from, and never got around to finding it. I'm glad I didn't back then, because I probably would have liked it in my early teenage boy phase, when as long as it had boobies on the screen, I was okay with the story. Not so much anymore. Yikes. Whew. You grow up after a while. You understand that rape is not good. And my wife says that she found it to be one of her favorite movies at the time. And I watched it because she wanted to share it with me. And she found herself deeply as disturbed as I had been. Because I was sharing the greater Ewan McGregor movies with her. We were talking about Obi-Wan, but it's like, Disney's... well, his character was fucked up at Phantom Menace, so there's no going back. I'm not even interested. So we were like, well, he's in stuff. Let's watch Velvet Goldmine and The Pillow Book. Fuck yeah. If he's not jumping around with his penis flopping around, is it really a Ewan McGregor movie? Is it worth watching? Anyway. Her tastes have changed since my wife's tastes have changed since she loved this movie. And she says it does explain a lot of the relationships she had fallen into. For her, it stemmed from her forcible Christian upbringing of telling her that she's the woman. She has to accept whatever the man does, no matter what, and forgive it, even if he cheats. That kind of disgusting shit. Ugh. Christians are fucked up. Okay. Well, so this movie was probably written by a Christian. This is the kind of love that Christians think are love. Absolute disgusting. Buffalo 66. I give it a 2. I mean, cinematically, and Christina Ricci herself is a 10. But the story, the message, the disgusting implications, just no. I'm never watching this movie again. It's too bad, because she is so fucking super cute and beautiful. She's got the kind of legs that Hollywood doesn't usually allow into a movie. Real shape. It's really too bad that they had to waste it on this piece of trash movie, on Vincent Gallo. Serial... I'm not gonna accuse, but if he's writing this story in any sort of way that he thought it was an important story that he wanted to share, women stay the fuck away from him.